Hello and welcome to Black and Sober, the podcast. The aim of our podcast is to connect with people from a drinking culture, especially those like us from the Black community who have chosen to go against the grain and enjoy life without alcohol.
We started this podcast because we struggled to find anyone from similar backgrounds willing to share their sober story. We encourage others to take the plunge as we have and share their experiences with us.
We would like to thank 12 Way Studios for allowing us to record our podcast here. They too believe in the cause and are willing to offer their support as we try to elevate our community and spread positivity. Welcome to our second episode of Black and Sober, the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to our last episode. We're really overwhelmed by all the messages and everything that we've got from people, all the comments and stuff. Like, we really appreciate it. Yes, so welcome, Peaky G. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Peaky G. Well, my DJ name is Peaky G. Real name is Ricky Bob. I'm 45 years old. I'm a father of two, and I've been sober for 4 years.
Thank you. I just found it so interesting because you actually got in touch with Ricky because you watched our first episode, and like, you guys have known each other because both of your brothers are best friends, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was amazing.
my older brother, Darren, who's 4 years older than me, is best friends with
my younger brother.
Yeah. So like best friends is in like Peaky G's little brother would call my mum, and my older brother Darren would call Peaky G's mum. So yeah, they
How funny that, like, you
and both of our names is Ricky.
Both your names are Ricky, and you both had this battle that neither of you knew about, but like, it's like something that obviously we don't go around saying, "Oh, hi, I'm an alcoholic, I haven't seen you in years," kind of thing. But you've kind of connected, and now you're here.
We've always connected on Instagram because we've always had this banter with the bikes.
Yeah. We had bikes.
We had bikes because obviously, like.
Your actual push bikes, right?
No, motorbikes.
First it was motorbikes.
Yeah.
Love of motorbikes. We used to watch MotoGP when he got his bike. Yo, you watch MotoGP? We used to like message each other like on the races and like Valentino Rossi and all of that. And then obviously pedal bikes. He had a pedal bike, and I'll be like, yo, my super speed, that's not super speed. And I'll send him a picture of my bike with the engine, and he would send pictures of he'll have his bike up, and we just kept in touch via that. So when I saw the email about joining the thing, I just saw Black and Sober, and I didn't even watch the podcast first yet. I just messaged him, what are you lot on?
What are we doing? What is this about?
Yeah, and then when I came off the phone, that's when I watched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what I got was the message. I put something on Instagram, and I just saw Peaky G come up. Yo, call me.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. Bam, call me.
So then,
4 years, sober.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah. And even that was a good conversation. We was talking on the phone then for about nearly an hour or so.
Yeah, almost an hour.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about everything because see, a lot of people when you talk about alcohol, a lot of people would think class alcoholics as what you see outside on the street. Yeah. Someone who's homeless. There's a difference between someone who's homeless and that has a drink problem as well, who has an addiction, and someone who's actually just got an addiction. So within yourself, never feel bad about getting help. Because if you're getting help, you're doing something to make yourself better. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there is alcohol addiction groups, there's alcohol addiction lines, there's anonymous lines that you can call to get help. Even people, like, if you needed help, like the podcast, even like hitting me up on my Instagram or whatever, like for help, that's not a problem. Like, always seek help. Yeah. If I didn't seek help, I wouldn't be able to be in the position I was today.
Yeah, so, well, take it away. Like, do you want to go into, like, maybe the early stages of your life? Like, what was alcohol to you as a child, like, growing up?
As growing up, when you first grow up, it was like being part of, you know what I mean, you're with your crew, chilling out, have a drink. In the teenage stages, it wasn't really that bad. But there's various drinks that would hit you and you'll feel it. So say like there was a thing in our time called Special Red, which was like, you know, the Americans 40s, like the big bottles of the Americans.
Is that like, sort of like a cider?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You buy one of them, lick off your head. Gone. Yeah, so like those are the sort of like drinks we started experiencing on first, and then it started going on as a DJ. You went into the culture of like your Guinnesses, and then you Hennessy, then Kavossier. It kind of like goes up in stages when you kind of like go up.
So you're a DJ, right?
Yeah.
So you're around that
that environment, and then
cool,
also a big football fan as well. So going football, it's in the culture.
What team do you support?
Well. QPR, bro.
QPR.
Best in the West.
Cool.
And so basically, it's always been there. So as a youngster, it weren't really. You realised it then. It was when passing on my cousin in 2004.
Is that Sean?
Yeah.
Sean, yeah.
So passing to Sean, when Sean passed away, I think that's when the drinking habits sort of like increased, where I drank a lot more. And,
Rest in peace, Sean.
And it would be from there where I used to drink quite a lot. Yeah, and that's where things started to get bad.
So is this in your early 20s?
Yeah, I was probably about early 20s. Early 20s. And yeah, things just went kind of, in a way, drinking-wise, downhill.
Right.
That's when the early stages of what type of alcoholic I was, which was a functional alcoholic. That's when it sort of like came into play, because you can go from a certain stage of the day without the alcohol.
Yeah.
And then you're going through a certain phase of the day with the alcohol, because that's the phases that you're actually at.
And so was you working at this time? Like, was you, so you was working and just sort of drinking? And
always had a job, always been able to maintain a job. But yeah, that was when, in the mornings, wake up, sometimes your day off. As soon as school run's done, I'm having a drink. Midday, could be drunk at midday, have a little sleep, go do the school run, because you're now sober up, eating something. Yeah. That's how it was.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
DJing in nightclubs. Yeah, there's certain times I will mash up a dance, and there'll be certain times I completely flop, and I know that would you be too much.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ricky. Would you be drinking while you're doing the DJing or?
Yeah. Well, before, on the way to the club, before my set, during my set, after my set, when I got home.
So what would that do for your set? Would that make your set feel more live? Are you mixing your tunes on time? How does that work out for your set?
It was a thing where, at times, nothing could test.
Right.
You could be on fire. Your speeches, your mixes, everything was on point. One little time where things would just go, whoosh, and that's just gone completely. Like, your form's gone.
Right.
So you've gone from completely like to Thanos, to like being defeated by the Avengers. You understand what I'm saying? Just completely defeated. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So So you're DJing, you're drinking, you're
just like living life at the moment.
Sets.
But there is a struggle, because you're doing it like when times you really shouldn't be doing it, like during the day, when you're trying to sort of take your child to school and stuff
like that.
So it's getting in the way of everyday life.
Then I used to do a Saturday morning radio show, and that would start, first show I did used to start at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I could be in the studio from 7 o'clock in the morning drinking. When I moved to another radio station, my show times changed. So from that time, it was 10 till 12. 10 till 12, I was in there drinking. You know what I mean? It was part of me. It was in my system. It's like it was actually in your bloodstream. So it's actually a habit. When it becomes a habit, it became something I was dependent on.
And how long would you say you was doing this for? Was you keeping this up for?
I stopped 4 years ago. So I'm 4 years sober. So probably 20 years.
Right.
20 years.
And what was your drink of choice? So if you was in the studio 7 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning, just Guinness, beers. Any spirit?
I weren't really a spirits man, but I'd drink spirits if it was there.
Okay.
Spirits were there, I would drink it.
Well, your choice was more beers.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, right. Okay.
So when did you get to the point where you sort of said, like, enough is enough? Like, was there like
there was a few moments. So there was a lot of incidents that would happen, family arguments, things at Christmas, fallouts with friends, and there'd be a time where you're like, you're supposed to, but you don't, because it's not your time, because you can never tell someone who's a drinker, who's an alcoholic, when they're supposed to stop drinking.
Did anyone try and speak to you about it, though?
Yeah, my cousins did, family did, being in relationships and partners have, the signs were all there. But as I said, you're the one that's drinking. You're the one that's got the problem. So you're the one can only say when you're going to stop. It's only I could say I'm going to stop because you didn't give me a drink. You didn't give me a drink. I picked up that glass. I picked up that bottle. I drank it.
Yeah.
So you know when you're going to stop. How many more times are you going to wake up in the morning after a rave feeling how you're going to feel? How much times in the morning where you like, instead of having a breakfast, you're actually having a wet breakfast because that's making you feel better. By a certain time of the day, you're asleep because you're drunk. Someone might say something to you in a certain way. You're responding in the wrong way. Why? Because you're drunk. It was in you. And then you realize some of those times where you haven't had a drink and you're at work or something and it's getting to time where it's home time. You got that eagerness, that mouth. Your mouth is actually like, I can't wait to have a beer.
That first drink.
That first drink. And then when you do have that first drink, the first drink is probably the best one. Yeah. And if you could stop at your first drink here, that would be such a nice drink. Yeah. But it doesn't. Yeah. It continues and it goes on and it goes on.
They do say that. They do say that the reason why you can't continue drinking after that first drink is because you're always trying to chase that first buzz, that first feeling, that feeling of drink, and you're always trying to get that, and you never actually get that, and then by the time you drink on, you're drunk. So
because I went through the same thing at work. Like from about, if I was drinking from the night before, come about 10, 11 o'clock, my hangover would start to wear off. Yeah. Have some lunch about 12, 1 o'clock. Then about 2:30, 3:30, I'll be thinking, time to go home now and get a bottle on the way home. And certain times on the way home, I catch train home from work. I have done for about the last 4 or 5 years of my working career, and I'll stop off on the way home. And I used to get a quarter bottle of whiskey, what I used to drink, and a bottle of Diet Coke, and I became so good at it that I knew where to empty the bottle of Diet Coke to fit the exact measurement of the quarter in, so it fills right to the top of the bottle, and I drink that on the way home. By the time I came off the train, it would be done, and I'd get more drink on the way in. Walking back from the station to home, just so I can just drink more. So I get what you said about the work thing. I could totally relate to that.
And then it was like, if I'm happy, I'll have a drink. If I'm sad, I'll have a drink. Nothing to do, I'll have a drink. Everything led to one thing, having a drink. And you wouldn't realise it until you stop it, how much time, energy, money that you spend on alcohol. I actually got help, so I went to the alcohol addiction group in Cobbold Road, in Church Road.
So that's AA classes. I just want to stop you there because in our first episode Ricky mentioned that everyone in AA has to say that they're an alcoholic, and someone close to me sort of corrected this, and because they do go to AA meetings and have done for years, and they said that anybody can go, anybody who has a desire to stop drinking, to quit drinking, can go. So you don't have to say you're an alcoholic. You can just go there if you have the desire to stop. So I just want to make that clear.
I mentioned it on the last one.
For people out there who want to go, you don't have to say.
You don't have to. Realistically, even saying about that, it's probably one of the best things I ever did. One of my favourite places to go. I had to go every Wednesday. Wednesday became my favourite day of the week.
So if you could just take it back a bit, before we fully delve into your experience with the AA, what sort of, why or when did you decide, right, I'm going to go to AA? Was it an ultimatum someone gave you? Was it just you looked yourself in the, what triggered, right, or how did you first think
triggered it?
It's time for me to go?
At the time, I class it as a holiday from hell, but it was really and truly the holiday from heaven.
Right.
So where I said the holiday from heaven, it was where I saw, hey, I need to stop.
So you was on holiday and you just...
I got totally wasted on holiday.
At the time it felt like hell, but when you're looking back, it was actually heaven. That holiday was your turning point.
It was a turning point.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So basically how it happened is that I had my theory test. So I had to go all the way down to North London. I ain't practiced this.
Yeah.
Be real. I ain't revised nothing.
Yeah.
I've dodged it for how many years as an adult. So I said, you know what? Let me just go for it. I ain't think that. The main thing was going. I went, I came back, I didn't pass. Yeah, but on the way back, as soon as the train got onto Overground, right, I made the phone call. And then from then making the phone call, it was a thing where, you know what, I spoke to them over the phone. They told me to go somewhere. I went somewhere. I think it's at the back of the hospital on Roundwood Road.
Yeah.
I had to go there and did the first talks with them and everything. And then they redirected me to AA. And when I went to Cobard Road, my first interview with them, it was a different experience, because you didn't think someone you don't know, you're gonna break down and literally cry. Yeah. Like, when I mean cry, and I remember his name was Tony. He was actually my key worker as well. He goes, "That's gonna be one of your best cries you're gonna have, right, but you're gonna have better cries still to come."
Yeah, right.
I didn't know what he said then. I didn't understand what he meant by then. But as my journey went on, I understood fully.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah. Okay.
So like, going there every Wednesday is my favourite day of the week, I said, because I was looking forward. I didn't even want to go there. At first, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I don't need this help.
Yeah.
I was, see, when I sat down with everybody else,
you felt at home.
Felt at home, because I had people who I could talk to about it.
And that would listen.
And can understand. And you got people here, there, this way, that way. Yeah. Everyone in the group, you can take something away from somebody that's going to make your journey better. So as much as you might have friends and family who I had there, obviously they're not in the position of the people that's in my group.
Yes, yeah.
So these people now in this group here on a Wednesday, you're my family.
Yes, yeah.
You know, you guys are like keeping me going, because you guys are inspiring me, regardless of whose story was, where it was, and what part of the journey they was at. I was taking bits from everybody and learning for myself, and every week I was coming back and I was coming back bigger and better and bigger and better, and I actually like understood the full journey from there, because it's the little things that they were saying in there, teaching you self-worth and all them sort of things there that would get you going, and really helped, really did.
So did you follow the 12 steps?
Didn't do no 12 steps.
12 steps, okay.
I just went in, basically when I went in, it was more of a thing where I wanted to do it, and everything was like, I exceeded, because I was challenging myself at the time. So I was going, first one was going football.
Yeah.
So I went football, QPR versus Brentford. We got smashed 3-1 at home.
I know you're a diehard QPR fan. I know you're a diehard QPR
We got smashed. Yeah. If there was any opportunity for me to say, yo, I'm going to pick up a drink, it was after that game.
Yeah.
And that was how long until you was into your AA meeting?
It was probably literally about months into it.
Okay.
2 months into it. Yeah. I got to look back at where the fixture was, but a few months into it and a few weeks into it. And I went past how much off license, and the thought of it didn't even come to my head.
Right.
It was more of the fact of I wanted to go home and just sit down and say, I did it.
Yeah. So when you accomplished that, how did that make you feel?
I had another cry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I had another cry. Like, really and truly, I sat there literally in bed. I was trying to sleep and the tears wouldn't stop coming.
And did you share that experience with anyone?
Yeah. The tears wouldn't stop coming. Yeah. And it was such an amazing feeling, because then I knew I could do it. Yeah. So you see, from then, that was a home game. Next challenge was an away game. Yeah. So away game that I went was Derby County away.
Right.
And there was this train distraction, that train distraction. Now it's away day, All my football friends. Yeah. There's drinks everywhere and everything. We even went to the pub, everything, and I was just there. Yeah. And on the way back, again, I knew then, that I could do this.
So you're with your regular fans that you go with, and obviously you take part in drinking with them. Yeah. What was their reaction to you, or when you was like, you're not drinking, or did they even notice?
I got two.
Did you get sort of egged on? Have a drink, go on, Rick.
Nah, I had two friends, two real good mates at QPR. One called Nicky, and the other one called Tony, and they helped me a lot. Okay. And when I mean they helped me a lot, is they were just themselves. Yes. So I remember at that same game, Brentford, half time, we got downstairs and he goes, "What are you having to drink?" I said, "A bottle of Coke." He said, "Just testing you." Good. How Tony would be Tony, and what Tony was just Tony. Yeah. So it wasn't the fact of, he's not drinking or anything like that. He was just normal conversation, like, it didn't really matter to him. Like, I'm still who I was. So they were really great. And then other guys around who I knew, they were also great as well. So that helped. And that helped a lot as well, because like it made me realize, hey, I can do this without drink. And then the bookings came where my DJ brethren, Sean Powers, he'd be like, yo, we got this dance coming up and da-da-da-da, and I need you to do this and to do that. And I'm like, all right, cool. And like, we'll go back and forth about my role he wants me to play and everything else like that, yeah? And then every step of the journey, every single challenge that was given, took the challenge and went up and went up and went on and took it on from there. So then it went from football to be able to go dances, to be able to go anywhere.
So did you have a better, so touching on the dances and the DJing and the partying aspect of it, would you say you performed, how was your performances when you stopped drinking?
Performances when I stopped drinking were more professional.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, where I mean more professional.
You get a different reaction from the audience, from the crowd? Yeah.
So my best performance as of late was when we did the pajama party, and like everything, deliverance and everything was on point and everything, and I really felt to myself that, yo, I don't, like, you already know you don't need it, but it's like, yo, I can do this. This is like, it's nothing, innit? It's like you're just going into like another challenge, and it's just like, bam, just bring it.
But that first time when you was DJing for the first time without the alcohol, so that's probably, you've probably never DJed before without drinking, so that must have been like daunting. Like, you must have been thinking, could I even do this? But you did it, and then it was just like, wow, I can.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. I even still got a stumbling block with that as well, because even though I'm still doing little bits of DJing, where my strength or where my real passion is like being in a studio presenting. Right. So I need to get back into that zone where I can actually get back into the studio and get back to my presenting, because once I do that, that's when I'm at my best, and that's when everything will come together for me as a DJ, as a host, and who I am, like Peaky G, Mr. Good Morning. That's when I'm going to be at my best. Yeah. But obviously small steps get you there, and I'd rather take small steps than taking giant steps to take giant falls back, because at the end of the day, small steps are better off than giant steps as far as I'm concerned.
That's great, because we still need to learn, well, definitely you, how to party without drinking. We went to a wedding, and I was fine because it was my friend's wedding, so I was like more relaxed, but Ricky's not there yet. He didn't feel comfortable to like relax and have a good time and listen to music. Like, he was a bit stiff.
To be honest, I was a bit lost. And you know what it was? It wasn't I was lost without the drink, because like I said, coming up to this stage, we go camping as a family, and usually we have a drink out camping. We'd gone camping, we'd gone carnival by this stage.
Yeah, that was really
so
good.
I felt like I had passed all the major challenges where drink would be thrown at me, and I was able to not drink. So I didn't struggle with, I want to drink. It was more of, how do I socialise without the drink? Because I've always been that sort of character where, you know, if we're in a social environment or at a party or a rave or whatever, be sort of back against the wall, it's not sort of getting involved, not dancing too much, might do a 1-2 step, but when I started drinking, when I had the drink in me, I'll be in the middle of, you know what I mean? I'll be singing along to the words. I'll be with the band. If there's a live band, I'll be trying to do the drums with the band and all that. So at this wedding, I just felt, how do I socialise without the alcohol? You know, I could sit down and hold a conversation with people, but I just couldn't get up, and
that confidence.
Yeah, I didn't have it.
That's
what I'm sort of struggling to find. Any advice?
That's called the you know, that first drink.
Yeah.
That little you get feeling from that first
Like
drink.
Dutch courage.
That's the Dutch courage, yeah.
Right.
But for me, it'll be when I'm going out, I'll play my favourite songs.
Yeah.
Or play music that you're not going to hear in the club that gets you going.
Yeah.
How you dress is going to make you feel part of their environment. So when I go out, I want to look good. I want to think like my new me's like, yo, I need to look good. Yeah. And when I'm in there, party, I could party. Yeah. And there'll be a part of the party where I freeze. I freeze.
Yeah.
And that's the alcohol bravery. And that is, hey, you're observing. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because you're observing what's going on and you're looking for what you could do for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's for you within yourself to take it amongst yourself, because that atmosphere needs to capture you now.
Right.
Because like it's a natural environment, so that atmosphere needs to capture you, and you need to take in the atmosphere and come out of your comfort zone. Because your comfort zone is to back off in a corner and come out, when tunes are playing, where really and truly, just go out there. I'm out there, I'm going dances, and certain tunes played, and like I'm getting pushed into the middle because of the vibe. I'm not doing any of the dances good or sequenced or anything like that. It's just a vibe. But when it hits you, when it does hit you, I'm gonna tell you, you ain't gonna stop. But there is dances where even like times where I've gone out and probably have had a good 2-3 hours of solid raving, and bam. But at that point there, I used to think like, oh, what is that? But that was the moment that I would realise, that the courage of the drink, this is where I'll get into trouble. I might have spoken to her, I might have spoken to her, and that might have got me into the wrong place and in the wrong situation. So for me, I would rather freeze in that situation because I've observed where my atmosphere and what's actually going on, and it's stopping me from getting myself into trouble. So observe the situation, because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with what you're going through. Like, just and just let it flow. When you let it flow, you'll be great.
I guess it's like we're talking, it's steps, isn't it? And that was sort of that was my first time at the wedding where I had been sort of, other than carnival, but in a social environment, sort of where we're grouped in. And I thought to myself the next day, I was like, who cares? Like, who's even if I was sort of out of my comfort zone, it's not my wedding. People aren't going to remember me in years to come. Oh, remember that guy Ricky, how he was acting? Like,
no one
and to be fair, but 80-90% of the people there that would have probably been drinking and drunk anyway. So why have I got this thing on? Oh, what are people going to think of me? What's their impression going to be of me?
Shouldn't be.
But that's how I was feeling.
So. Nobody cares.
Exactly. So
shouldn't be, because like with the journey of not drinking, what you got to realise is that every part of the journey is you, right? Because at the end of the day, right, that person there, when you're going home, they're not the ones that's going to be there. So you've already got your family already. So it's really and truly within yourself, most importantly, and what your family, because your family are the closest ones that's going to be able to tell you. They're the ones that's going to know you more than anybody else. So they're going to pick up on this as well. So they're going to be able to realise, hey, do you know what? This is what's going on. Sometimes when I hit that freezing point in a dance, I might have one of my friends would say, "You good?" I'm like, yeah, man, we're good. And we might go outside. Just go for a stroll or this thing.
There's reason.
You know what I mean? There's reason. Or even go to the bar and buy a soft drink. You know what I mean?
And how, sorry. Sorry.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, how did your family react to like this new sober you? Like
how? I've had a much better, 100%, not even 100%, probably 1,000% better relationship with my family, and that's going from top of my family on one side, on both sides of my family. So I've been able to be sociable on both sides of my family. So on my dad's side of the family, on my mum's side of the family, being able to socialise with family that I've never socialised with, who've never known this side of me, and even they're like thinking, what, you don't drink? No, I don't drink. But when I last saw you drinking, but I don't drink no more. And they're like, huh? And some of them even forget. Some even might even be like, oh shoot, I forgot you don't drink.
So on when having those conversations, like, how deep does it go? Does it get to a point where, what made you stop drinking? Why did you stop drinking? Or is it just a case of, and how do you feel it? Do you then share your story, or do you sort of try and
share the story,
just keep it moving?
Share the story. It's probably it's by the birth of my children.
How many kids? Sorry, how many? Two. Yeah. And how old are they, if you don't mind me asking?
13 and 14. And 21.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, my daughter was 14 the other day.
Both girls, or
one boy.
One boy, one girl. Right. Cool.
Young man.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So my relationship with my kids have got a lot better. Much better. Relationship with my mum's better. Relationship with my dad's better. One of the relationships that probably stood out amongst all of them, relationship with my brother.
Right.
Yeah. That got like so much better as well.
Yeah.
My relationship with my cousin Raf, who was very instrumental, very, very instrumental, got even more stronger because he saw the strength in me and what I was going from, what I was. And like, he's probably been the one that's always been on my case too. You need to
So
stop.
Raf offered you a lot of support. And
Yeah.
big up Raf. See you,
A lot
Raf.
of support. A lot of support. And then the other guys like Big R, Shan, my friend Leon from Manchester, Easy as well. Easy. They all played their role as well. So like they all played their role in inputting, in helping. And it weren't the fact of them changing them to accommodate that I stopped drinking. It was the fact of them being them.
Yes, right.
So it is a thing where, as I said, it's always about you.
Yeah.
Not about how anybody else is going to think, because if you feel good within yourself, no one ain't going to be able to tell you anything.
Right.
What are you going to rather be? You're going to rather be someone who sees everything and knows everything, or be someone who's drunk and don't know what they're doing. And then that rude, abrupt behaviour comes into it, that grumpiness comes into it. All the things that come with after you're drunk comes with it. What are you going to rather be?
Yeah.
You can go out one day and still get up early in the morning, and the only thing that you are is actually naturally tired.
Yeah.
And with
Your
food,
feelings are real now.
Yeah.
Like if you're tired, you're tired. It's
yeah.
not because you was out drinking last night. Yeah.
you're naturally tired. So when you do get up, you're gonna have that feel for, you know what, I want something to eat. You might want to work out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or to keep you going, because that energy's in you and just needs that little kick just to get you going, because your body's tired, but your brain can just tick anything. And you know what? That could be playing computer with the kids. That could be just sitting in the room watching a TV program with them. It could be even starting the dinner early. Anything to just keep you going and just to like get you into that space. But there's so many things that I do to distract myself and bring myself to the place where I need to be at peace.
Wicked.
Do you ever get anyone like who haven't given you the love about not drinking? Because, you know, we've definitely seen some people have sort of said, oh, go on, you have a drink. I'll have a drink. You know, why do you want to like not have fun now? Have you ever got any negativity about it?
Yeah. When I first started, the drunk queue was more fun. Go out, have a conversation with a nice young lady, and you say you don't drink. Oh, you're boring. You know, you get all of those ones. You're boring, or you don't drink. How do you enjoy yourself? But you know what? You see, when you see me on the dance floor, you tell me how I enjoy myself. Yeah. You tell me if I'm not enjoying myself. You tell me if I'm not partying.
That's it.
Yeah, I might have that moment where I freeze. Yeah, because now I'm aware of what's going on in the situation where I'm at. So it's that point, you know what, it's my resting time. You know, I'm going to rest. I'm going to take it in. I'm going to take in atmosphere, because you know what, I did this. And I'm giving myself that time when I'm taking myself away from partying and say, you know what, well done. Right. Because that's the moment where also as well, like when you have that pausing moment about enjoying yourself, that's the moment you're supposed to be congratulating yourself, saying, you know, I'm here and I'm doing it. Yeah, because that's that moment where it's a freeze, but you know what, you're doing it. That's a positive. It's not a negative, it's a positive. I've had, what, you're not going to have a drink?
How would you react in that situation?
At first,
would you be blunt with it, or
at first,
would you lie?
At first, she was blunt with it. I don't drink, and like, I don't drink. It depends on the response. Like, majority of the time, when it was like things like I don't drink no more, 4 years or whatever, how long I ain't drank for how long, So it got to a point where I don't drink. I don't even say how long. I don't drink alcohol, and people are just shocked because they associate with you. So when they see the new you, they don't know the new you at all. Like, people think that they know you, but they don't. It's only your close unit and those who are willing to embrace the journey and those who are with you. So say like my family members who we all go out every now and again and we go raving together and we do dinners and all them sort of things there. Those people there are the ones that are willing to understand, and those are also the ones who are actually giving you that second chance of life. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a new chance, it's a new beginning. And what you got to realise is that I've now become who I was meant to be. The alcohol was a distraction in my life to teach me something, to bring me somewhere. That was a distraction. So now I am who I am. So like my son will say to me, Dad, you like, you're funny. Like when I'm around my son and my daughter, and they just find me just funny. I'm in the kitchen.
So would you drink around your children before, or?
When I was drinking,
Was they aware that you stopped?
Yeah. They was quite clearly see. As soon as I stopped drinking, my son, my daughter, they would think. My daughter was probably one of my biggest supports, where times where it was hard, she would come in my room and like say, "Dad, I'm proud of you." Do you understand?
That's
and
nice.
That's lovely.
And then conversations with my son, I'm getting a bit teary-eyed about it. Conversations I would have now with my son are much more important than any other conversation I've had with him, because now they're conversations with me. And even when we go football, it'll be a thing where we're having fun. Yeah, we're actually having fun. We've had some good away days, but I think if you asked him what our best away day was, it'd probably be Millwall away when we won at Millwall 2-0. Right, because that was probably one of the first away days he went with me, and I'm sober, and obviously that's a proper, it's a London derby.
Yeah, of course, Millwall.
That's Millwall away at Millwall.
Yeah.
We went to the den, we won, and like it was his first time there, and he was just like, and even like we walking out of London Bridge, and we just he's like up there taller than me, so that black thing, and he's put his arm around me, like the embracement that he gave me, like I could feel that.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's so lovely, because you're making me actually get really emotional at the moment. But to have you like here saying that you've got your kids, like still that even though they're older now, but like for me, I find it emotional, because like I've got my dad, but I never had that with my dad. My dad still continued drinking probably until now. I had an uncle who sadly passed away a couple of years ago, and we never got that opportunity to have. So like, it's just so lovely to hear your story, that you've done this, and you've got your kids around you, and you've got your kids proud of you. It's just, I just feel a bit emotional that I've never had that with my dad like that. So it's just so it's just a good feeling that I've got for you, that you've been able to do that. So like, well done. That's amazing.
We also got to remember, that we're off of that generation where we're the ones that are kind of like repairing the relationships that our parents didn't have.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like now we're becoming like things that we missed out on, we're making sure we're giving our children that. And now I realise that's the things that we're giving to them. And you might not have had that, but you're giving it now.
Yeah.
So you also got to remember, from something that you haven't had, you're actually giving it now, and you have the opportunity to give it now within with your partnership that you do have. So you got to look at that and say, hey, I've created this, and even though that situation how it is, hey, this is how it would have been, and this is how it could have been, and this is us. Yeah. So when you got that family unit and you're actually doing it, there's nothing more better than that. Nothing more better. Because that was the thing that kind of like captured me, and I saw that you guys were doing it together. Yeah. That caught me, because I didn't have that support like that. Yeah. So I had to do it myself. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, we have been very lucky that we've had each other to, because I don't think I would have been able to do it. We were saying that like literally last night, we've helped each other doing it, and not a lot of people have that. Like you had to do it on your own. So like we've been quite blessed in that way, that we've had each other to lean on and have this go.
And I did it during lockdown.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's amazing.
I did it during lockdown.
I think during lockdown, so my drinking probably spiked.
I think a lot of people.
I think if I was still drinking lockdown, I don't know if I would have survived. If I'll be honest. So lockdown became a time where, it came at a right time, because you do, when you stop drinking, you do have to have that time where you isolate yourself away from the world.
Yes, exactly.
And lockdown came at that.
All the influences and
Oh yeah, so I suppose that helped you in the sense that.
So during lockdown, was you still working, or was you?
Yeah, I was still working, because I work in a care home.
So you still had able
to go out.
Still had that sanity of.
I felt like every day I'm outside, you understand? I'm riding my pedal bike. I got speakers, I'm playing music, I'm singing. Like that gave me somewhere to go.
Yeah, of course.
Being able to just have that little going out to do something. Yeah. Kept me going.
Do you think if you weren't working during lockdown, like if you had to stay in and you had nothing to do during lockdown, you would have been successful in stopping at that time? Do you think working through lockdown?
I think working helped.
Yeah.
But the way my rota is, I have quite a lot of days off as well.
Yeah.
So any of the days I have off would have been my drinking days I would have had off. So obviously my days off that I got days off for the week where I'm off for 4 days.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so that's plenty of drinking time
Yeah,
I
of
could have had.
course, yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I did do is I started watching series.
What was you watching?
One time I come across Vikings. Yeah?
Vikings.
And that
Brother's
was
always telling me, Darren, he's always telling me about Vikings.
Listen,
Vikings, yeah.
when I saw Vikings, that was it. And then I got into Last Kingdom. I'm a Peaky Blinders fan as well, so I watched that all over again because the new one was in the making and coming up and everything. And then,
so sorry to interrupt, Peaky G. So this is the next part of your journey now.
Yeah.
So you've acknowledged you've become you're a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah.
You've done the classes, the AA. You've embraced it with your family, your children, your family, your loved ones can now see the change. So you're now you're on the road to sober. Yeah. So now we're going on to what you did. What you now do. Your hobbies and your habits. So sorry to interrupt. So you were saying you're into series now.
Yeah, into series.
So that's what you're now doing to occupy your time.
Yeah.
Rather than I
was watching series.
So Peaky Blinders. You was
on the Peaky Blinders.
Watch that all over again.
Watch it all over again. And then Vikings, I kept watching over and over again. Yeah. Because they didn't, at the time, they had so much series. So to get to the end of it was like, yo. And it was like, well, what happened for this to happen? So you go back to thing.
I thought I was the only one.
No.
You could be on episode 28. Oh, that happened so that's what episode 16 meant.
That's what this meant, and you go back.
You're getting back.
The thing I kept going back to in Vikings, I kept going when they went to Paris. And how they failed the first time in Paris and I was like, hold on. And I'm like, this is where this is the beginning. And like, you start thinking, and then after that, another one that I got into was at the time, I love wrestling as well.
Yeah.
So at the time, everything was not there. So wrestling was still going on, but there's no crowd.
Right.
So then you're sort of like, you're hearing all the things in the ring, and then you're seeing all the tricks and everything. So that's making me, because that's how they do it. That's how they do it. But then you're seeing the storylines without the crowd, but you're realizing at home, you're the crowd.
Yeah.
So I got more into watching things that I like doing. Right. And then football stadiums was like football without crowds in it. So we got had football at some form of sense. Yeah. Bought resistance bands, working out, cooking, more cooking. Mm-hmm. There was a part when I put on weight.
Right.
I bloated up. I couldn't even believe it was me.
So after drinking alcohol, you put on a lot of weight.
I went from an alcoholic to a shopaholic.
Right.
Yeah. Like
another addiction.
You've got to find something to,
because you can't go nowhere. Yeah. All the shops are closed.
Yeah.
So everything was ding dong delivery, ding dong delivery. Ring doorbells going off, and like another delivery. These are too small. Like.
Yeah.
You started to buy stuff for yourself and stuff. So,
because like I think the best way that kept reminding me is every time I went toilet, and I'd be like, boom, this is how much money I'm pissing down the toilet, literally.
Yeah.
And that's how I looked at it. Like literally, I'm going toilet every time. Yeah. Thing it was like, rah. I would have had how much beers and like how much money, and that was in the early stage. How much money you start realizing you're saving, and everything just changes. So then I had a point where I even started. I was doing a show from time to time. I got plucked up the courage to do a show from time to time, but then that was like consistency. Because when I was doing it consistent, it was fantastic. Yeah. But then 1 week you're on it, 1 week you're not on it. Things are going on, and it distracts you. All distractions, but these are all distractions in life that come and bring them on because they have to happen. For you to hit that destination of where you want to go. So I see all challenges that came to me as like bring it, because they were meant to happen.
You just hurdling them.
Yeah. Hurdling them, swerving them. Whatever.
One challenge, jump it. Next one, till you reach, and just keep going.
If I have a challenge and I fall, I get back up and go again.
Yeah.
So where are you now today? So are we like at today now?
4 years.
Well
4
done.
years. 4 years and a month and how many weeks? Sober, never touched a drink since.
That was going to be my question. Did you, on your journey, did you ever sort of lapse or
relapse? First few weeks, when I went to group the first time, came out, I don't need that. So what my one was, I'll buy a 0 beer and have a beer. and I'll mix it,
Yeah.
hide or throw away the alcohol beer bottle or can, and have the 0 can showing, so everyone would think, yeah, he's not drinking.
Yeah.
Wait until you lose your temper or something's happened, and I realize, yo, I need to stop drinking. It's not working.
Yeah. So do you drink sort of the 0% beers or the non-alcoholic beers, or?
I used to,
Yeah.
but now I don't even.
So when you go out, like if you was to go, I don't know, a pub, party, rave, would you get a 0% beer, or what would you drink now?
I used to be on the 0 beers when I went raving. I used to be on the 0 beers, like nobody's business. Every time I went out for dinner, I'd have it. I hardly have them anymore.
Yeah.
What made you change?
I prefer the taste of a normal drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, I prefer the taste of a normal drink. And at some points, you're sort of like looking at this and thinking, it says beer.
Yeah.
Even though it's a 0 beer, it says beer. So one thing that my AA tutor Tony taught me was a beer was a beer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that 0 beer could like just be a comfort. It could be like lead way to you to going back to drinking. Even though they're nice, I'll still have one from time to time, a 0 beer. Like if I do go out, if I fancy one, I'll have one. But really and truly, there ain't.
Would it be in your shopping list?
Nah.
Okay.
It used to be, but now it's just water.
Yeah.
Water, fruit juices. I've got a thing for smoothies.
Right.
So what do you make your own then? Yeah.
Like my daughter hears the blender going. She could be sleeping. Yeah, she hears the blender going. She's coming running in. Smoothie. Yeah. So like, smoothies are really good.
And do you still go to your AA classes now?
Nah,
You don't.
that was kind of mad because you have your AA class and then you got a key worker, and then I had my appointment with my key worker, and like I started like September. 4 years ago in September, and then by January, my key worker goes, anyway, I'm just glad to let you know there's nothing I can do for you anymore. She goes, Ricky, you've done football, you've done this, you've done this, in between this space of time, you can do this, you know? And that's when I knew that here, what now, the only way was forward and up. There was no other way that anything can change. And then like the following week, I attended my last group in the AA group. Like, and that, when I left and I was walking home from Cobard Road, that was the best cry I've had.
Did you know that? So you knew that was your final class?
Final class. Like, I could
class,
still, if I wanted to,
you could go back.
I could go back. But it was a thing where...
How long did you go there for? Sorry, what was the duration you went there for?
A couple of months.
Yeah.
From September till January.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And it's been 4 years. Right.
And is there anything you do to that, like, do you do any reading up on like addiction, or is there anything you listen to?
There was, my best friend was called the Stop Drinking Expert on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah? And it was kind of mad because he had videos for every situation that you go through. And even a time where I would look at the videos, it's something that's happened that day, a situation that's happened, or a video's there and it's there, and it was like, wow. So that helped me a lot. When I was doing my music, my little shows online, and that was helping a lot as well. Watching the football with no sound helped. My series helped. Obviously, spending more time with loved ones helped as well. Cause my bond with my people that I was around got a lot stronger as well, because obviously you're not the same person, and then now you became someone that you're more approachable, you're more thing, and people see you for who you are. You know, so that was good as well. Okay. Nice feeling to have as well.
How do people find you? Do you want to just say your Instagram
my Instagram's
handle?
at Real Peaky G.
At Real Peaky G.
At Real Peaky G. Yeah, that's my Instagram, and that's what I like. I'm going to be doing my music and all that on that, and also on my TikTok as well. That's what I'll be doing my music and stuff once I get back into music. But that's like something personal within myself, which I need like a little challenge. And I think this is like personal. Being able to talk about this and this thing has now been able to give me that platform to be able to say, you know what, I can get back in front of the decks again and do what I like doing the best, because this is like a monkey off of my back. So as I was saying, like, going for help, you guys answer the call to help without even knowing you guys are actually helping me.
That's what we're trying to do, man.
Do you
That's what we're
understand?
trying to do.
This is someone who's 4 years into it, and you guys are how long into your journey? But you guys are now helping me because you lot are doing something that, hey, I wanted to let people know, because it is kind of one of them ones, especially in our community, where everything is like, answer to it is a drink. If it's not beers, then it goes from spirits, wines, everything. When it goes from birthday parties to funerals, especially like funerals, that's when the heavyweight drinks come out. Yeah. And that's where we tend to sort of like, maybe at times where we could be at our most vulnerable as people, that when we're going through drinking stages. But when you're going through it, never be afraid to ask for help. Never be afraid to talk about your experience. Never be ashamed to talk about your experience. I remember when I first stopped, and I was like, I've never been shied from telling people, yo, I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a proud moment for me.
Yeah.
And I remember at one time, I was like, why are you telling people your thing? And like, I'll be like, because at the end of the day, this is me.
What, did someone actually say that to you? Yeah. Someone said,
why are you telling people that you drink? Don't tell them you stop drinking. Just make them think that you just don't drink full stop. And I'll be like lying.
Yeah. I feel like that's, with our community, it can be quite like that, like, you know, just keep things personal kind of thing. But then we don't have conversations like this. Like, how are we going to help people that need it and talk up and
you know, when we first started had the idea to do this podcast, I felt reluctant to share my story. But on the whole, it's made me a better person. It's bettered my life. I feel like my life has done a complete 360. Yes. So if something has helped me to become a better person and to live a better life, why will I not want to share that experience with others? Why will I want to keep that to myself? I feel like, in a way, I owe it to people give back. And you know, and hopefully they can jump on the journey as well and embrace what I'm embracing at the moment. So
we got to remember, is that even though this is a podcast and you're talking, remember, right, we could talk, but you're actually doing it. And actions speak louder than words.
Right, yeah.
So you're going through this journey and keep going through this journey, your actions are going to be speaking. So how many people are going to be inspired by it to be able to think? So say, like, there could be a time where, say, let's just say next year, you could have done a podcast, how much episodes in, and it could be a topic, and I could be feeling like shit, I could be feeling down, and I could go onto the podcast and watch it, and I'm like, yo, I forget where I come from, and this is where the thing there, and thank you.
Yeah.
So you can't be shy from it. Like, I say it thing proud. Like, I remember one time I got approached in the dance, and the lady who was speaking to me, she was drunk.
Right.
And I just said to her, look, I don't drink, you do. It would never work.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And there weren't no disrespect. It was just a simple fact of I knew my self-worth. And I was proud of where I was from. So now I became a new person where, hey, a situation where I might have found myself vulnerable to, it's obsolete to me. It don't exist. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to always look at the benefits from it, because the only people that's going to benefit from it is you and the people closest to you and then your inner circle and the people who are really the ones who are close to you. They're going to really benefit from it. And then the people who are going to benefit your friendship are your real friends who are going to embrace that journey. And those are the ones who are going to get the better version of you. Those are the ones who are not, oh, is he still drinking? How does he do it? You can see, they see how you do it. Do you understand? There'll be even like times, like even the pausing part where the freezing part, what we spoke about earlier, where people wouldn't realize it. They think something's up, but they don't actually realize, hey, I'm analyzing. I'm seeing what's going along. And I'm seeing what's going on. I realize, hey, that could have been me. That could have been a situation where this happened. And you see it all and you think to yourself, let me just stay right here because I'm safe here. And you're in the nice zone. But it might have taken for that night there one tune and they never played it. Yeah, that one tune and they never played it. And you could have been out there dancing all night. So when it does happen, your thing, but trust me, even I have moments where I'll be like, and people think, you're right. And I'll be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you're good. Yeah. So don't shy away from it, and don't shy away from, you guys have got that each other to fall back on. Always talk. Always talk about it. Talk about how you feel about it. Everything. And even if it's a thing where you're involving the kids in the conversations.
Yeah.
Involve them, because they're the ones that's going to be benefiting from it too. And they're going to also be as real as you two are going to be real with each other. And also your real people are going to be as real to you as how you guys are going to be. Definitely. You know, like the support network that I even had certain friends in the music industry that didn't even know. And just that normal conversation about music, yeah? It might be a time where you're struggling, and like, obviously you don't want to have a drink, but you're struggling, you're having a hard day. Like you're having that's just that day. And the thought of a drink don't thing or having, but you're having that bad day. But if you was a drinker, you would have gone in already. Yeah. And just that one conversation from that one person, or that right person, could just change your whole aspect of your day and everything. So by being open about it and by being you always see the better version, and you see a clearer version of where you want to be going as a person.
Yeah, hear that, man. Okay.
But so should we wrap it up? Are you okay?
Yeah, it's cool.
Good to wrap up.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's been amazing. Like,
thank you for having me. Been wanting to be able to tell my story, so it's much appreciated, and thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate you coming on, Peaky G, man. It's cool.
Yeah, and well done. What a big, huge, massive.
And well done to you guys as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anytime you want me to come on again.
Definitely.
Let me know.
It's gonna be a part 2. Definitely gonna have a part 2 cooking. So so enjoy the rest of the football. Hope QPR.
I will. Listen, QPR's QPR. But one thing is, Rangers till I die, and that's the way it is, mate. That's the way it is. But look out for the music as well. Look out for the radio shows that's coming up as well. So, you know.
Yeah. So how can people, when you're back on the radio shows and that, how can people find you?
My social media via my TikTok, my Instagram, my TikTok at Real Peaky G. Yeah. And you'll find me there. Wicked. And then I'll be doing my posters and everything when I'm coming on and everything. Yeah. And also, well, my show will be sponsored by you guys anyway.
Good way, yeah.
Happy. We'll have to come to one of your dances and get Ricky relax and have a
little. No, you need to come on.
You
need to come on tour. You need to come with Dads on tour.
Yeah, at least he knows. At least he knows you're not drinking as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly. You need to come Dads on tour.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, Ricky.
No problem.
Thank you, and you've been listening to Black and Sober, the podcast with me, Alicia.
And myself, Ricky.
Thank you for listening.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.
See you at the next one.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to share your sober journey with us, please send us a DM via our Instagram page
at Black Sober Pod.
We would really love to hear from you.
Take care and stay tuned.